Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is all about respiratory system. In this video, we will naming the organs of respiratory system and their function. So let's start. Breathing is only one process involved in respiration. It begins when the diaphragm, the dome-shaped muscle below the chest cavity, contracts and moves downward. The rib cage then moves up and upwards. The chest cavity enlarges. At the same time, air pressure outside the body is greater than inside the body, and the air rushes in. This part of breathing process is called inhalation or inspiration. When the air pressure has been equalized, it causes the diaphragm to relax and move upward to return to its normal position. The chest cavity is therefore reduces in size, making the air pressure inside the chest cavity greater than the air outside of the body. Air is then pushed out the lungs, equalizing the pressure. This part of the breathing process is called exhalation or expiration. There are different organs of the respiratory system: the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and also the lungs. The first organ is the nose. The nose is the only part of respiratory system that is visible externally, and its route for air entry into the respiratory system. Air is drawn in via the nostrils or external nares and enters the large nasal cavity, which is divided into two by the nasal septum. The nasal cavity is partitioned from the oral cavity directly below it by the palate. The only externally visible part of respiratory system that function by providing an airway for respiration, moistening and warming the entire air, filtering inspired air and cleaning it of foreign matter, serving as a resonating chamber for speech, and also housing the olfactory receptor. The second organ is the pharynx. The pharynx, commonly called the throat, is a muscular funnel-shaped passageway inside the body. It connects the mouth and nose to the esophagus, leading to the stomach, and larynx, leading to the trachea and then lungs. The pharynx is located in the middle of the neck, and it starts at the bottom of the skull. The pharynx has several important jobs in respiratory system. It carries air to the respiratory system, delivers food and liquid to the digestive system, pushes food into the esophagus so it's not breathed in, and also equalizes pressure in the air and drain fluid from the airs. Next organ is the larynx. Our larynx, part of our respiratory system, is a hollow tube that lets air pass from the throat to your trachea on the way to your lungs. It also contains your vocal cord and is essential to human speech, so it's often called the voice box. The larynx routes air and foods into the proper channel and play a role in speech. Our larynx is inside the middle of your neck at the level of the Adam's apple. It's located between your 4 to 6 cervical vertebrae or neck bones. Our larynx has three main functions in our body. First, to breathing. Second, creating vocal sounds, and also preventing food and other particles from getting into your trachea, lungs, and the rest of your respiratory system. Next organ is the trachea. Trachea is a long U-shaped tube that connects your larynx to your lungs. The trachea is often called the windpipe. It's a key part of your respiratory system. When you breathe in, air travels from your nose or mouth through your larynx. It then passes through your trachea to your bronchi. Your bronchi carry the air to your lungs. Our trachea works with the rest of your respiratory system to help you breathe. When you inhale, air moves from your nose and mouth into your trachea, from your trachea into your left and right bronchi, through your bronchi and into bronchioles in your lungs, into a small sac in your lungs called alveoli, where your body exchanges oxygen for carbon dioxide or gas exchange. And also, when you breathe out or exhale, your body performs this motion and revise to carry carbon dioxide out of your body. Next is the bronchi. Your bronchi are the large tubes that connect to your trachea and direct the air you breathe to your right and left lungs. They are in your chest. Bronchi is the plural form of bronchus. The left bronchus carries air to your left lungs. The right bronchus carries air to your right lungs. Your bronchi are an essential part of your respiratory system. As you breathe and your lungs expand, your bronchi distribute the air within your lungs. Your bronchi works with your respiratory system to help you breathe. When you breathe, air passes from your mouth to your trachea. Your trachea divided into your left and right bronchi. The bronchi carry air into your lungs, and at the end of the bronchi, the bronchioles carry air to a small sac in your lungs called alveoli. The alveoli perform your body gas exchange. And the last organ is the lungs. The lungs are the primary organ of respiratory system. It occupies the entire thoracic cavity except for the most central area. The main function of the lungs is the process of gases exchange called respiration or breathing. In respiration, oxygen from incoming air enters the blood and carbon dioxide. A waste gas from the metabolism leaves the blood. A reduced lungs function means the ability of lungs to exchange gases and reduce. The respiratory system is responsible for exchange gases in the body. It consists of respiratory tract and also the diaphragm. The respiratory tract it starts from the nose and ends in the lungs. The nose or nasal cavity has two small openings called nostrils where gas enters and leaves the body. It's where the air enters and it's thin filtered, warm and moisture. Specialized hair called cilia are found inside the nose to trap the dirt and the air. The mucous membrane along with the nasal cavity filter gas, sat and other foreign material which may enter the nose. The air then passes through the pharynx, located at the throat. The throat connects the nasal cavity and the oral cavity. The larynx is where both food and air passages. After air passes through the larynx, it goes through the windpipe or trachea. The trachea is the passageway to the lungs. Most of the time, the trachea is open to allow air into the lungs, except when swallowing. The lower end of the trachea are the bronchial tube which lead to the lungs. The lungs are the primary organ of the respiratory system. They are two elongated elastic bags of tissues. The right lungs has three lobes, while the left lungs have two lobes to give space for the heart. And the lobes are areas called alveoli where oxygen enters the blood and carbon dioxide is removed. There are about 3 million air sacs in the lungs, making sure gas exchange occurs quickly, smoothly, and at all times. Each lung is protected by a membrane called pleura, while a serum is found between the layers of the pleura to prevent friction between the chest and the lungs. Now, the diaphragm is the muscular organ that moves when you breathe. When you inhale, It moves upward and expands to allow the air to get in. When you exhale, it moves downward and contracts to allow the air to get out. In the summary, the respiratory system aids in breathing, also called pulmonary ventilation. In pulmonary ventilation, air is inhaled through the nasal and oral cavities, the nose and mouth. It moves through the pharynx, larynx, and trachea into the lungs. Then, air is exhaled, flowing back through the same pathway. Changes to the volume and air pressure in the lungs trigger pulmonary ventilation. During normal inhalation, the diaphragm and internal intercostal muscle contract and the rib cage elevates. As the volume of the lungs increases, air pressure drops and air rushes in. During normal exhalation, the muscle relaxes, the lungs become smaller, the air pressure rises, and the air is expelled. So that's it for today. Again, this is Myla T. Sarmiento. I hope you understand. Thank you.